All right, boys and girls, it's officially that time of year. You have gotten your PCS orders in hand. As a Coast Guard family, you are moving to the greater Houston area to Coast Guard Station Houston or Coast Guard Station Galveston. And the real question is, where the heck are you going to live? Well, I put in the research. I'm going to show you the 5 top communities I'd recommend. Now, this is coming from almost 10 years of experience selling real estate here. And also, I mean, I'm a military veteran myself. This is me jumping out of an airplane. So I know what it's like to PCS. I know how stressful this time can be. And we're looking for places that are going to have great schools for the kids. They're going to have really easy lifestyle, grocery stores, restaurants, recreational activities. We want a place that's going to be safe, have awesome resale value, and really be a place that makes your experience here in the Houston area something that's truly special and incredible. So with that said, if you need anything from me along the way, please shoot me a text message. We can help you out with stuff if you need. I want to help make the transition easy, but let's go ahead and jump right in and take a look at our first recommended community, the first place I'd be looking if I had orders to come to this area. Let's go ahead and see the League City area. Let me show you guys this here. So League City is probably the first spot I would be taking a look at as a family moving here with the Coast Guard. Here's the kind of the boundaries of it. You see why I love it is if we zoom out just a little bit, we're not too far away from where we are in Galveston with the Coast Guard station. We're not far away from Ellington Field right over here. And League City is a pretty big area that's had a ton of development over the years. You can see, I mean, it shows you Bass Pro Shops right away, which is a special place for most of us, has a special place in most of our hearts. There's been tons of homes put in here. You've got some really great communities. You can, in fact, even see from this aerial map where that development has come in. All of this stuff right around here is Magnolia Creek. You've got this golf course here in the middle of it. We've got some other great communities in South Shore Harbor. We've got Tuscan Lakes over on the other side of I-45. But what I love about this for families is we've got stores like the Bass Pro Shops. We've got things like, you've got Jumping World with trampolines. You've got barbecue restaurants, great grocery stores. And they just put in up the road here, not too far from all this, they just put in a huge Great Wolf Lodge. It's that big kind of, what do they call those things? Like a big indoor water park where you can spend all your money. That's right around over here where they finish all that stuff. There's a Top Golf. There's movie theater. All the stuff is really close here to League City, and the resale value is super strong. So if you're looking for a place, I think this is an amazing first stop for you to be checking out. The schools are really highly rated as well, consistently in the 8 and the 9 out of 10 star range. So League City, probably number 1 on my list. And there's a bunch of different communities that are worth a look for you. The second place I'd be checking out if I was you is I don't want to look not too far over in the Friendswood area. So here's Friendswood. Let me type that in so we can see it. Friendswood is just a little bit further over, right next to where League City is. So League City is right here, and Friendswood is right next to it. What I love about Friendswood is this probably has the most sought after schools in our entire segment of the greater Houston area. Consistently, these schools are rated 9 out of 10 stars or 10 out of 10 stars with Friendswood High School, a bunch of great elementary schools as well. You've got neighborhoods like West Ranch that's growing. You've got Falcon Ridge. You've got a bunch of options for folks at different price points. So whether you're looking for something more in like kind of the 300,000 range or higher up from there, Friendswood's a fantastic place. And what's really special, I love how this picture they have is of like a fence. That's kind of classic. And it's a good example because Friendswood has that small town feel. It's nice and safe. People enjoy it. You have snow cone stands, people out walking at night. The big downside, I'd say, if you're looking at Friendswood is this probably is the longest commute of all the spots I'm going to show you today. It probably is worth it. You're probably looking at the 30 to 40 minute range, depending on which way you're going. But this is a really great quality of life and unbelievably outstanding resale value. That's the Friendswood area right here. I don't know if I showed my cool little banner on the last one, but that's worth it right here to show. So let's take a look at the next one. Next, we're going to look at the Kemah Seabrook area. And I'm not even going to search for this one. I'm just going to show it to you here on my map. But Kemah and Seabrook is right over here. So again, for our orientation purposes, we've got League City here in the middle, and then we've got, there's a cool little button for it. That's a little bit late to the game. But we've got Friendswood, League City. We're down here to Galveston. Most of the time, you're going to be driving 45 up and down to get there, or 146 the back way. And that's what you would do if you lived in the Kemah or Seabrook area. As you can tell, this is really a special place for folks who are looking for that kind of that beach lifestyle where you can live here and you can enjoy jumping out there in your kayak, jumping out there in your boat. You love to go fishing. You want to stay out there on the beach. You've got Clear Lake. You have the bay. You've also got a really cool spot. I'll show you. In fact, let's pull this up so you can see it. You've got the Kemah boardwalk right here. You can see this thing is just, it's a special place. They've got this big old Ferris wheel thing. It's kind of like an amusement park almost. If you zoom in fact, let me zoom in so you can see the Kemah boardwalk. Let's do the little 3D view. Boom. Look at this technology, guys. Loving it. This is like a, there, can you see that? I mean, it's like a rides and Ferris wheels and all kinds of cool stuff. This is like an amusement park for adults and for kids. And of course, the boardwalk. Here's this roller coaster you can see. That's scary. I don't want to do that. No thanks. But the Kemah Seabrook area is really cool for those recreational activities. And right next to it, not too far away, is going to be Clear Lake. So let's zoom out of this thing. And the Clear Lake area right nearby. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. We got League City. We got Kemah. Clear Lake is kind of all, here's technically Clear Lake itself, but this is the Clear Lake area. And it's most famous. Tell me if you've heard of this place before, but you've got this little place called the Johnson Space Center. That's right here. That's right off of Clear Lake. So folks coming from Seabrook and coming from Kemah will come down this way. You've got all of NASA Space Center. You have Space Center Houston, cool place to go visit with the kids as well. Kind of a Disney World for space people. But you can just see from the aerial, like, look at all these neighborhoods that are built in. You've got tons of places to go, and that gives you a lot of choices as someone looking to get a place you really enjoy. You've got a lot of inventory to choose from in this Clear Lake area. And one of the things that I personally, like, I mean, I'm a sucker for this, but I personally love that Clear Lake has, being a little bit older, it's got mature trees just about everywhere. Whereas League City has a lot more newer construction. I'm going to show you Texas City next. Those have some newer construction areas, which are, you know, nice new roads and restaurants and all that cool stuff. But I'm a sucker for some shade. And that summer heat, sometimes you really love what Clear Lake has to offer, being just a little bit older. And it also has, you can see right here in the middle of this, they've done a bunch of development on this whole space here. This is the exploration green. See all these kind of trails around here. You've got some really kind of retention areas for water. But if you like getting out there and hiking and biking and doing that kind of stuff, and let's zoom in so you can see a picture of this. In fact, that's just, I mean, like, you guys don't have Google and you can't just look at some pictures yourselves, but there's some really cool spots to get out here and just enjoy some nature. And yeah, here's a good one. You can see they've got this really wide trail you can go around and hike and bike and take the kids out on a stroller and enjoy some nature here in the middle of the city. So they put a bunch of work into this, and it really has paid off. I love it. The last place I'll show you is, let's zoom out of this thing, is I would look lastly at Texas City. Okay. Texas City is, I bring it up last because it really depends. This has the best commute time of any of them. See right here, we have Galveston again, and Texas City is so stinking close. That's unbelievable. All you have to do is go over the bridge and you're there. And you've got kind of old Texas City and Lamarck over here, which are right next to these plants. You can see if we zoom in on all this, you got a bunch of industrial stuff here. So that can hurt your resale value if you're right around here. But right up the road, there's been a bunch of new development here. This is a little outlet mall area, and this is a whole community called Lago Mar. You can see Google doesn't even have all the pictures for it yet, but Lago Mar is mostly built out, and they have this huge thing called the Lagoon. I mean, look at this. This is kind of cool. So this comes with the ownership, and here comes with the HOA dues. The big downside, I would say, about living here compared to some of the other communities we looked at is in Texas City, in this part of Texas City in particular, because there's so many homes, it could be a little more difficult for you to sell the house quickly when you do PCS. So you may want a contingency plan to make sure you stay well within your budget, or you're prepared to rent the house out temporarily if need be until your property values rise enough that you're thrilled with your return. There's also some infrastructure problems right now. They're working on I-45, and there's just a bunch of traffic and kind of nuisance going around there. You don't have a lot of the restaurants and things you have in some other areas, and the schools aren't as well regarded as they are in some of the other locations. But for your money, you get a really great house, you get a super short commute time, and you can spend your time sitting on Galveston Island hanging out on the beach instead of living in the suburbs. So it kind of depends on what kind of lifestyle you're looking for. Now, I've got all the stuff put together. If you want to get a guide for this thing, just go ahead and text me right here. I'm going to send you a PDF guide with all the details of these communities, including some clickable search links. But you may be someone when you're like, I've got a house that I need to sell in one of these areas, and I'm going to show you exactly how you can do that, what things you should be doing right now to prepare. So take a look at the next video we've got coming up. They'll show you the steps you should take to either sell your house where you're coming from or here in this area that we talked about. So if anything else comes up that you need, again, please do let me know. Give me a call, give me a text. We got your back.